Hi everyone, welcome to the channel and my name is Manish Tiwari. So in this particular video, now we are going to talk about the complete repo structure, correct? So what happens most of the time when you are going to appear for the DevOps interview or while you are already working as a DevOps but you are not knowing each and everything in detail. So you do not have either the kind of exposure or you didn't get the chance to work on that much amount, correct? So we are going to talk about that how the repo structure look like, what kind of repo we create for which purpose, for application source code, for infrastructure source code, for Jenkins pipeline, for Docker file, where do we keep all these things and what are kind of best practice where you can create these things and you can keep these. So I'm just going to pass all this information to you. And also we are going to just understand a little bit about day-to-day activities, what a DevOps engineer perform in daily lifestyle. So just suppose that you are going to join an organization as a 2 years of DevOps engineer or you as a 8 years of a DevOps engineer or as a lead DevOps engineer. So what kind of activities are you going to perform? Are you going to perform administration stuff or you are going to contribute as an individual or you are the one who is going to perform some kind of POC? That means new tool you are going to adopt, you are going to do the planning for the sprint release, or you are going to plan how the infrastructure will look like, how the load testing should be done, what kind of cost should be there for the project, correct? So what kind of roles and responsibility are you going to perform? We are going to talk all these details, all these things in detail. So keep watching this video till the end and stay tuned with this channel. Also subscribe to this channel because that's the thing what motivates us to create videos on daily basis. So it's a kind of oxygen for us which gives motivation for us. So please subscribe and share with your friends and colleagues too, so that we can reach up to a larger audience. We can help each and everyone whoever wants to come into the DevOps world. So this is my request and just share it with your friends as well. Okay. Now coming to the point which is just after this, if you are the one who is looking for the DevOps interview preparation and you are stuck with the day-to-day activities, project explanation, scenario-based question, troubleshooting question, generic question, concept-based question, DevOps introduction and other stuffs, correct? So we are running DevOps interview preparation bootcamp batch and batch 12 is going to start soon. So you can do one query, you can enroll right now because right now fee is on a lesser side, correct? So you can just get the opportunity, you can enroll or you can get the recorded session too. So we are providing each and everything. Now it's your turn to get the job. Let's come to the point what I wanted to discuss here. Coming to the repo structure or what kind of repo we create for what kind of purpose, let's talk about that. So what happens as a best practice, you can say for each and every activity we try to maintain a different repo structure. And if it's there is some code you can say or some file you can say which is a kind of shared code or shared file, correct, that we create into another repo or on the same repo we can create another file. So let me just give you an example so that it can be a clear picture for you, correct, how the repo structure will look like, what kind of repo we create, how many repos we create for which purpose. Just suppose that you are developing one microservice or you are developing one application. So considering one e-commerce application, you are developing code for login application. So that user details will be there, user password will be there. He will try to either create profile or log in into the profile, correct? So that kind of portal you are developing, you are the one who is developing this login microservice, correct? So for this you create a single repository in your project. So just suppose that on your GitHub site, on github.com or it depends on your organizational repo structure as well, it can be some your organization.com, correct? So on that particular project you create one repo which will be named with your microservice, just considering it's login microservice. So it's github.com/login and then going forward whatever the path you have passed, correct? So this is the first repository. In the similar way for another microservice there will be profile, then rules microservice, then notification microservice, and similarly you will create a different repo for your different microservice. So this way your application source code file will look like. What happens here? You do have this application source code. Now since we are talking about the microservice architecture, that means we are also going to talk about the containerization tool. We are also going to talk about container orchestration tool. What does that mean? That means we are going to talk about Kubernetes, we are going to talk about the Docker, we are going to talk about the CI/CD part, each and everything. So your Docker file should be there. So where will you place the Docker file? Docker file in general we place on the same repo. Like just suppose for this login microservice you have developed the code, either the Java or the Python, Node.js, whatever you are writing. Based on that your source code is there. Into parallel of your source code folder there will be Docker file, and in this Docker file you will write all those commands which can create image. So your run commands, either your any environment related commands, your any other CMD related commands, entry point related commands, or user creation, execution. So all these Docker related commands you will put in this Docker file, and that will be placed parallel to your source folder so that it can read and it can create the image out of this. Now you have application repository, correct? You have the Docker file, you have Jenkins file as well over there, because this is the Jenkins file which will trigger and which will which will execute the different stages. And what does that mean by different stages? Different stages, that means when it will do check out to the repository, when it will get into the Docker file, when it will do the image creation, when it will push that Docker image to the ECR, that means AWS ECR I am talking about. It can be your Docker Hub as well, depends on the what kind of tools and technology you are utilizing. So your application repository is there, Docker file is there, Jenkins file is there, and if there is any other file which you want to keep, you can keep that as well. Now coming to the your infrastructure side, correct? You have to create the infrastructure too. So for that infrastructure we create another, either you can create another project itself called as configurations or any other project, and on that particular repository you can create now different repo structure, correct? Either for your one product, for second product, for third product, how the infrastructure will look like, how the infrastructure will be created, you can keep all these things. Now you can develop the Terraform module too, and this Terraform module will be kept on that configuration related repository. That means your application source code is separate and your infrastructure related code is separate. On this infrastructure related code repository you put all those modules, you put all those main.tf, providers.tf, each and every file over there. It will be organized, of course it will be organized, modules, then the calling function of the modules, like the main.tf for the different products, correct? Just suppose that you have product A, product B, product C. So for product A this will be the main.tf, product B this will be the main.tf, product C this will be the main.tf, correct? So different main.tf, the proper organization you can do, and for each and every customer you will be passing the different values as well. For customer A you are passing the EC2 of type c5.xlarge, but for customer B you are going to pass t3.medium. So you create different taboss.json file from where you can pass the details to your pipeline, because it's all automation what you do, correct? So it will pick up the value, it will pass in the pipeline, it will do the execution. So you create separate repository. If you have any inbuilt tool in your project, the tool what your team has developed, so for that also you create a separate repository, because everything should be separated. That's how you go with the best practice. You manage the sensitive information, you manage the source code, you manage the infrastructure related code, correct? So for each and every purpose, each and every business requirement, we create the different repository, we maintain those things. This is how we work in DevOps. So this is a kind of best practice what we do. If you are the one who is learning, who is appearing for the interview, and you are facing any kind of challenges, feel free to book your services on topmate.io. You can book any one-to-one call, or if you are looking for interview preparation, we are running DevOps interview preparation bootcamp too. That is also for your help. So you can avail that too. Either recorded session, if you do have any kind of shift timing issue, you are not available at that time, so you can go with the recorded. We have like many of the people have gone through that too, and it has helped them. So it's a very much excellent content what we are providing. It's a kind of premium content what we are providing. You should go for that. Correct? So just feel free to drop a WhatsApp message for inquiry and make your time now. Thank you.